Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Arizona Coyotes franchise mode here in NHL 22. So in last episode, we took on the St. Louis Blues in the second round, and we're on our way to the conference finals for the first time in a number of seasons. Obviously, we won a bunch of President's Trophies in between then, but our team didn't win the President's Trophy this year, and now we're actually playing like a good team. Also, we did lose our top line center in Connor Geekie to injury like halfway through the season or late near the end of the season. And yet this team is still assimilating pretty decently and found ourselves further than they have been in the last few years. This is our roster going into this conference finals. As you can see, Volchenko is getting a big opportunity, and he's kind of ran with it in a sense. Armsden's been pretty good as well. Like, in general, our top six has been pretty good. There's been a couple players on like the fourth line, like Raleigh, Spaulding, Thomas, that I haven't been really fond of their play so far this playoff run. Lynch hasn't been the best either, and in McElhinney he hasn't too. Like, in general, the bottom six needs to improve, I'd say. And then defensively, our defensive core has been playing good defensively, but also we don't really have that clear offensive defenseman still, even though Burkov has kind of been taking over that role, I guess. And goaltending-wise, so far, Donovan's been really good, and Korea hasn't been really that great, but he's been winning his games at least, and there is our depth at the moment. And yeah, we're going to be taking on the Calgary Flames in the conference finals, and now they're a very tough looking team just because of the fact they have like 5 players 88 plus. Yeah, 5 players that are 88 plus overall, and they're all making a lot of money. Like, this guy's making 7, and I think the rest of them are all making close to like 12 million plus. Like, I think this top line's making 12 million. Eakin's making like 15. So it's a very scary offensive team. Their defensive core definitely needs some work, but it doesn't matter too much when you got a really good forward core. And then their goaltending is also kind of solid, so I'm kind of scared that we're going to get knocked out in this conference finals, but I really hope we could get back to that Stanley Cup finals again, because that would be nice to get ourselves another Stanley Cup before we end up losing players to retirement like Agostino and Michkov and all that stuff of things. So anyways, let's get into game number 1 of the conference finals, see if we could find ourselves in the Stanley Cup finals against either the Islanders or Florida. Let's see what happens. We got home ice advantage, so let's use it to our advantage. We've been 7-0 so far on home ice, but in the playoffs we are only 1-4 on the road, so definitely need to be better on the road. In the playoffs we were really good on the road during the regular season, so it's a bit weird. Let's see what happens here. Game 1 against a very tough Flames team. And after first period we're up 3-1, so that's not exactly what I was expecting, but a really good first period for our boys to start off this conference finals. Maybe the experience factor will show up. So Armsden scores a power play goal. Shishkinov then scores, which is nice, because he doesn't really score that often. Bedard then gets the Flames on the board, but then Thomas scores, who hasn't scored yet either. So that's huge to get goals from Shishkinov and Thomas, because like I said in last episode, both of them were kind of not the best in terms of offense, and we needed definitely our depth scoring to show up, and it has done so far after the first period. Shots are 14-12. Let's see if we could add to our lead a little bit, or just kind of play good defensive hockey the rest of the game. Second period, still 3-1. Let's go. That's exactly what we need, a good defensive period. Now we just need to kind of lock it down in the third period as well, and we can get ourselves a game 1 victory. Shots are 22-21, so pretty close shot wise. We're up by 2 goals. Let's see if Donovan can lock this one down as well. Come on, boys. We've been playing pretty good defensively in this playoff run, I'd say, except for a couple games. So 4-1 Michkov, and then Kagurov makes it 5-1. Drieger makes it 5-2. But looks like we're going to have another really good offensive game, because we've been having our offense pick up a little bit. Against St. Louis, we scored like 5 goals in the first 2 games of the series, and we do this game as well, but we're going to win 5-3. Drieger scored a late goal, so not a bad first game at all. I mean, our defense definitely needs to improve after that game, I'd say, a little bit. Goaltending was okay, and our offense was really good. So let's see these goals. So Armsden from Spaulding and Yoshimura. Shishkinov from McElhinney and Sasaki. Thomas from Agostino and Spaulding. Michkov from Armsden and Agostino. And Kagurov from Agostino and Michkov. Agostino's been picking up so much assists this playoff run, and he hasn't really scored much goals, which is weird. So Drieger gets first star for them. Agostino gets second star for us with 3 assists. That's his second 3+ assist game in the playoffs so far. And Michkov gets third star with 1 goal, 1 assists. Pretty solid way to start off the conference finals. Can't ask for much more of that. And we have another back-to-back situation. We've had so much back-to-backs in this playoffs. But look at Agostino, though. 2 goals and 16 assists for 18 points in 13 games. And he's 34 years old, and he's doing this in the playoffs. This guy is just another player almost in terms of the playoff runs. Like, he just plays completely different almost. I mean, his regular season numbers are really great, but his playoff performance, I'd say, is one thing that makes him stand out more than other players. Okay, let's get into game number 2 and see if we could take a 2-0 series lead here. We had a 2-0 series lead against St. Louis, and then we blew that 2-0 series lead, but managed to keep it alive and win that series in 7. First period, 2-1 Flames. I don't really like that. Savonin and Yip score. Mishkov scores for us, so that's good that the top line is still scoring. But we're down by a goal after 1, which is not great. Shots are 14-9, also in favor of the Flames. Can we find a way to tie up this game and maybe get ourselves the lead in the second period? 3-2, I guess that's okay. We're still sticking around. Brodziuk made it 3-1, but Voloshenko scores, and he's been pretty damn good this playoff run. So we're down 3-2 going into the third, only down by a goal. Can we find a way to tie up this game in the third period, or maybe even get that lead? Let's see what happens, boys. Let's see what happens. Can we tie it up? Come on. I don't want to lose a game on home ice. Agostino scores. It's good to see him score another goal because, like I said, he hasn't been scoring a lot. Connolly, though, restores the lead for the Flames. Can we answer back with another goal? Come on, boys. This would be our first loss on home ice of this playoff run so far. Come on, guys. And unfortunately, we're going to lose 4-3 in Game 2. And the Flames win in Arizona for the first time of this playoff run. So Michkov's 10th from Burkov and Agostino. So Michkov's been scoring a ton of goals. And then Voloshenko from Michkov and Okposo. Agostino from Bilesma. But unfortunately, we lose by a goal. And our guys were the first 2 stars, as they usually are. I don't know if I should be making adjustments, because our depth scoring still needs to improve. Because we're relying heavily on our top line right now, which is something we always usually do anyways. But let's go to edit lines for a second and see if we could get to the other lines getting going a little bit. Like this third line or something. Let's try putting Rally in between the 2 of them instead. And then I guess we'll go with this as our 4th line. Thomas is up to 3 points. Lynch is only at 4 points still. Let's actually go back to Thomas on there just for something different. And we will go back to Sasaki on the top pairing, I think, as well. So there's that. Let's see if that could help us out, because we're trying to find a way to win against this Flames team. We got to win 2 games on the road, and we have not been a good road team so far this playoff run. So if we could win at least 1 game in Calgary, I will be happy. Okay, game number 3 in Calgary. Let's see if we could take a 2-1 series lead here. Come on, boys. First period, scoreless. I'll take that. It's much better defensively, at least, so that's a pretty good start. Shots are 8-7 in favor of Flames, but it is a scoreless first period. Can we find a way to get the lead in the second period? Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Savonin makes it 1-0, and then Bedard made it 2-0. Going into the third, we are down by 2 goals. The shots are even 17 apiece. Can we find a way to get back into this game in the third? Come on, boys. Hey, McElhaney starts the scoring. That's good. Can we get another? Because we're going to be down 2-1 in the series and trailing for one of the first times, I think. Hey, Kagarotov, let's go. Tie a game. That's a good way to have this third period go. 2 goals. Can we get the lead in the third is the question. Or are we going to an overtime situation? We are going to overtime for the first time in quite a while, I feel like. Shots are 29-25 in favor of us. It's a 2-2 game because of McElhaney and Kagarotov. Can we find a way to win this game in overtime? And if so, who wants to be that hero for us? Let's see what happens. Maybe Sasaki or Bilesma. I feel like a defenseman for some reason. Maybe Fairchild. Come on, boys. Let's get that goal. Let's go. Michkov. Agostino. Somebody. Maybe even Voloshenko because he's been so good. Penalty kill late. We kill it off. So we're going to double overtime after a close one near the end of it. We had a power play opportunity, but we didn't convert. So Shots are 44 to 35. Sorry, my voice like randomly lost at the end of that first overtime, so trying to restore it a bit. Let's see what happens in double overtime. We know it's going to end quick. Who wants to be that hero for us and give us a 2-1 series lead? Please, boys. Please, please, please. Hey, let's go. Agostino. Man, I love this guy so much. There's nothing that I don't like about this guy. With a huge OT winner, the captain comes through. We win 3-2. We were down 2-0, but now we have a 2-1 series lead here. So McElhinney from Spalling and Burkov, Kegorov from Armston, and Agostino from Michkov and Volchenko. That might have to be the top line of the future. Well, not really of the future, I guess, because two of the guys are old, but Donovan gets first star, Somers the second star for them, so both goalies, and Agostino gets the third star with the game-winning goal. Man, Agostino is coming out with the captain clutch performance right now. We just got to keep him getting that offensive stuff because he's been picking up a lot of points this playoff run. He's got 21 points in 15 games. He's playing almost like he did when he was like 25, 26. Like when he won a bunch of cups with us, he was winning the Conn Smythe a couple times, or he was close to it, I think. I think Michkov ended up winning them, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of them. Okay, so we have a 2-1 series lead. Can we win another game on the road? Can we take a 3-1 series lead and have a chance to win the conference finals on home ice? That'd be nice. First period of game number 4. And it's 1-1. Kegorov scored an early power play goal for us, so good to see our power play getting going again. And then Connolly scored for them. Shots are 12-11, so pretty even first period in terms of goals and shots. Can we get the lead in the second? Second period. Hey, let's go. Rally and Yoshimura. We're up 3-1. Shots are 22-20 in favor of us. If we lock down this period, we are 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals again. Come on, guys. Let's see what happens. Let's lock this one down. Come on. Penalty kill. Hey, nicely done. And Michkov scores right afterwards. We're up 4-1. We are literally 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals again. Raleigh makes it 5-1. Let's go. Let's go. We just got to win one more game, which is probably going to be the toughest game yet, I would assume. And we win 5-1. That's like the 4th time or 5th time we've scored 5 goals in this playoff run. We're 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals. Kegorov from Yoshimura and Michkov. Raleigh from Shishkinov and Thomas. Yoshimura from Agostino and Raleigh. Michkov from Raleigh and Sasaki. And Raleigh from Shishkinov and Pozo. So Raleigh really stepped up there, which is something he didn't really do much in this playoff before. He picks up 4 points for a 3rd/4th liner. That's pretty impressive. We didn't have to rely on our top guns in that game. And another great performance from Donovan. So Raleigh the 1st star, Donovan the 2nd star, and Yoshimura the 3rd. We're 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals, huh? Oh, and Volchenko breaks his nose. He's out till June the 3rd. Yikes. That's not good. That is not good. That is not good at all. Raleigh showed he had offensive performances, so he's going to get into the top 6, I guess. But that is not good. So we'll throw Appleby in there. Who's else's? We will throw... I guess we'll throw Appleby in that spot. Just so we know where to put Volchenko. But June the 3rd looks like... Yeah, it looks like he won't be back for the rest of the playoffs unless he could play with a broken nose. I don't know why he's not playing with a broken nose, because, I mean, Gregory Campbell played like a shift with a broken leg, come on. Or some people play with broken legs in the playoffs. Like a broken nose, like, come on. That's not good, but at least we're 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals. Florida and Islanders are tied at 2. Okay, let's waste no time. Get into game number 5 because we've been playing great hockey as of late, so I don't think we need to make any line changes other than the one that happened due to the injury. Let's see what happens. Can we close out the series and go to the Stanley Cup Finals again? Because we have not been there in a number of years. First period, scoreless. I will take that, I guess. Shots are 13-10, so pretty good defensive first period. Just need to find a way to crack the goose egg in the second like we did last game. Second period, 3-1 Flames. That's not good. We might end up blowing the series. I don't know. Drieger, Borodziak, and Millman score. Kagorov does get us on the board. We're outshooting him 28-18, so Donovan's having a rough game here. And our offense only has 1 goal and 28 shots, so Sommers is waking up. Can we somehow get back into this in the third period and get that lead? Let's see what happens. Come on, guys. We might be going to a game 6 here. Or we're probably going to a game 6. Did that injury just ruin our season? I don't know. Drieger makes it 4-1. And this game is probably over. That's not good. Not a good game for our team's defense, which we had last game. And they had a good offensive game, which they haven't had in a while. That's not good. Any badly minus players? Let's see what we got here. Bilesman and Sasaki were -3 each, which doesn't happen that often. And yeah, both goalies were terrible. That's not good. That's a complete 180 of that last game. Now we got to win in Calgary again. We've won 2 games in Calgary so far this postseason, so we got to find a way to win another, or else we're going to another game 7 situation. So, what do we want to do? Go back to Fairchild and Bilesma. And yeah, we'll keep the rest of this the same, I think. This team is noticeably weaker, though, with that injury. Because our center depth looks terrible without Volchenko there, or even with Geeky, because Geeky's still out. So, I hope that injury didn't screw up our chances here. Okay, let's see what happens. See if we're going to a game 7, or if we're going to knock out the Flames and go to the Cup Finals. And then hopefully that gives us our guys some days to kind of recover a bit, especially Volchenko, since we know Geeky won't return, but Volchenko maybe could, I would assume. I don't know. Depends if he could play with a broken nose or not. So here we go, game number 6. Come on, guys, let's close out the series, please. First period, scoreless. I will take that. Shots are 13-6 in favor of Calgary. So good first period from Donovan. But the offense definitely needs to get more shots than 6 shots a period. Can we find a way to take the lead in the second? Second period, 1-0 Flames. Don't like that. Aston scores on Donovan. Shots are 24-15 in favor of them as well. We need to find a way to tie this game up in this third period. Our offense is all of a sudden completely dried up. So, come on, guys. Agostino and Michkov, I know you guys have it still in you. Let's see what happens. Or Gagorodov, even, for that matter. Come on, guys. Don't want to go to game 7, please. Oh, that injury might have screwed up our chances. Because Volchenko was doing so well for this team. Penalty kill. Nicely done. Can we tie this game up, please, boys? Please? Oh, yep, makes it 2-0. And we're going to another game 7. We have blown our 31 series lead we had. And unfortunately, dropped 2 straight games to a really good Flames team. Donovan was good that game, but unfortunately this team is not scoring goals now. We've now only scored 1 goal in our last 2 games after scoring 5 in game number 4. So we got to definitely find a way to make some line adjustments. Is there anybody I could call up from the minors to maybe make this team better? Because I know we do have prospects in our system, so not really. I mean, Schutz is a good offensive defenseman, but he's not what we need up here. I don't think there's really anything I could call up. So I gotta try and rework the lines a bit, I think, here. Oh, this is not good. What can we do? Let's go back to Agostino as center. Armsden is the second line center. Riley's the third liner. Spalling is the fourth liner. We'll move Yoshimura up on that top line. And then we will move Kagorov over here. We'll move Shishkinov up. And we will also move Lynch up. Yeah, we'll do something like this. Put our best players on the best lines possible. And yeah, hopefully Donovan can play like he just did in that last game, because he was good, but the team just didn't score. Okay, here's our team going into game 7. Agostino returning back to that center spot just to give us a bit better of a center depth. Let's see if we can go to the Stanley Cup Finals with another game 7 win. Or are we going to be knocked out in 7 in the conference finals after having a 3-1 series lead? Let's see what happens. Real-time simulation. Kind of scared. Let's see what happens, guys. Okay, we started off with an early goal. That's always not a great sign, but Armsden scores. I don't know if that was the defenseman or the forward. Kagerodov scores. Okay. This is a good way to start off a Game 7 with some offense. We just need to be able to play defense, too. Because we didn't have this type of offense in our last 2 games. Final few minutes of this first period, and we are going to be up 2-0 after 1. The shots are 16-6, so we are playing really well. Sommers, though, is keeping his team in the game. Let's see if we can add to this 2-0 lead in the second. Come on, boys. Come on. Oh, I kind of miss Shelly in a sense because he would be scoring some goals potentially in this playoff run. Who knows? Hey, Yoshimura makes it 3-0. Okay, that's a huge goal. That's a huge one. Bedard gets a power play goal for them on Korea. So I don't know if Donovan actually did start the game or if he got injured halfway through or it just randomly swapped again. I don't know why the game swaps goalies randomly. But we're still up by 2 goals. We're up 3-1. Going into the third, shots are 25-17. We're appeared away from going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Can we hold off the Flames? Let's see what happens. Come on, guys. Come on. You guys could do it. Agostino and Michkov, I know you guys have it in you to lock down this game. You guys have been here before. You could just do it. Final 9 minutes. Penalty kill, and Bedard scores again. Oh, that's not good. Come on, guys. Final 5 minutes. Lock it down. Oh, Eakin scores. We blew the 3-1 or 3-0 lead or 3-1 lead. Oh, that goal by Eakin. God damn it, Korea. Yeah, it was 3 unanswered goals. We had a 3-0 lead. We're gonna lose this game in OT. I can feel it. We had a 3-1 series lead. We had a 3-0 lead in this game, and now we're gonna end up losing. Probably not going to the Cup Finals unless somebody wants to be a hero. Considering this might be one of the final episodes, I would watch it, but yeah, I don't know if this is going to be one of the final episodes or not. Who knows? I might have to do a full-on recap episode or something. Shots are 35-29 in favor of us. We are a goal away from going to the Cup Finals, a goal away from getting eliminated in the Conference Finals. Let's see what happens. Come on, guys. Come on, please. Agostino, Michkov, please. I almost said Shelly again because Shelly's been with this franchise for so long. Penalty kill, and they score. Yep, see, I knew it was going to happen. Koskarena scores on the power play, and we blow a 3-0 lead in Game 7. And unfortunately, we're not going back to the Stanley Cup Finals, and more than likely the Flames will win the Stanley Cup after this. God damn it. I hate this sim engine. Armsden from Shishkinov and Thomas, Kagerodov from Armsden, and Yoshimura from Raleigh Bilesma. And unfortunately, Bedard starts to come back against us. And we lose. Last time we played Bedard in the playoffs before this, or before he was a Flame, I think, was when he won the Stanley Cup with the Sens against us. So, damn, that's unfortunate. And why did Donovan get yanked? Like, literally, he made 9 saves in 24 minutes, and then all of a sudden he just disappears. And Korea was not good. Oh, that really sucks. I thought this team had it in them to win the Stanley Cup this year. And Donovan was actually injured in that last game, so fair enough. It was actually a realistic replacement. But, yeah, those injuries at the end kind of screwed us out of winning that Stanley Cup, I think. With not having Geeky, not having Volchenko, and then Donovan getting injured in Game 7. The injuries kind of slapped us. And that sucks. Because we had such a good playoff run, and a lot of those guys like Agostino and Mishkov are doing really well. But unfortunately, we lose in the conference finals this year, so at least it was a step better than last year. But, or a couple steps better than last year. But still, this team is going to have drop-off because of age and whatnot. Oh, let's take a look at those player stats throughout the playoffs, and then we will take a look at awards and all that stuff for the season and retirements. Armsden, 14 points, 19 games. Pretty good playoffs for him. Volchenko was really good before his injury. I don't know why he was out with a broken nose. He should have been able to play through that. O'Reilly was okay because he had that 4-point game. Spalling was only 1 goal, -7 as well. McElhaney was not really that great. Appleby was not good. Agostino was really good for his age. 22 points and a plus 14. There's a good look at his numbers now in the playoffs. Shishkinov 9 points, not bad, but minus 5. Michkov was really good. Yeah, we should have won the Stanley Cup this year. Kagorov 17 points is really solid. Yoshimura 13 points. Thomas only 5 points and Lynch only 4 points. So our depth scoring definitely was a non-factor. Burkov was good in the first 2 rounds, but didn't do anything in that conference finals. So there's that. And goalie-wise, Donovan was really good. But does he come back this offseason? I have no idea, because I don't know if he's a UFA or an RFA. Damn. That really sucks. Let's see who ends up winning the Stanley Cup. I would assume it's going to be the Flames. Let's go best lines. Best lines. It's going to be the Florida Panthers, so we don't even lose to the best team in the NHL this year, which sucks. So Florida wins the Stanley Cup for one of the first times, I think, in a while in this franchise mode. Let's take a look at that playoff tree. How much games? 7 games it took them to knock out the Flames, so kind of realistic. This is in universe where Tkachuk wasn't traded for Huberdeau too, so it's kind of funny. Let's take a look at the Stanley Cup winning team as well for fun, just because I want to see who was actually in Florida. If there was any former players of ours. Nobody there. They had a different Voloshenko. Interesting. Nobody there. Lucas Raymond. Lucas Raymond was still playing? Damn. That's crazy. Yeah, no former players, but a pretty solid... Wow. Their goaltender was really good and he got injured. 942 save percentage. That's crazy. Let's take a look at those awards, though. So Florida wins the Stanley Cup, and yeah, our Stanley Cup was 5 years ago. So if we would have won this year, that would have been nice to get another one to add to that. But unfortunately, we don't get a President's Trophy or a Stanley Cup this season. And yeah, there's that. Individual award-wise, Locked Andress wins the Art Ross and the Hart. Petrangelo wins the Norris, so Cons isn't going to win back-to-back because of the plus-minus, I guess. Michkov wins another Lady Byng. Nicely done, Michkov. Pickard wins the Calder. Gove wins the Conn Smythe. Not a surprise. Angelides the Vezina. And the Jennings. Denis is going to win the Masterton. Shepard for Anaheim wins the Jack Adams. McCarty wins the Selke for the 2nd straight year. Latendresse the Lindsay. In Fiddler wins the Richard. In terms of the AHL, Lawrence is going to win the most valuable player in the AHL for our Tucson team. Schutz was the best defenseman in the AHL. That's good to see, considering he's got low elite potential. And there is that. Okay. Actually, how much points did Schutz pick up in the AHL out of curiosity? He had 67 points and a plus 56. Damn. He's really good. He's 25 years old now and only has 3 years of AHL experience, but it'd be cool to use him in the NHL at some point if he could put up that type of offensive numbers. Okay, let's take a look at the retirements. I don't know if we're going to lose anybody to retirement, but I will take a look at this already, even though this is late into an episode, just because this might be one of the final episodes. I don't know what day this episode's going up, so there is the draft lottery. Who is going to retire this season? Is Shelley going to retire? That's what I'm kind of curious about. Let's go by centers first. Geeky is going to retire. That really sucks. This guy literally gets injured and then misses the rest of his career. Doesn't get his name on another Stanley Cup, but Connor Geeky was one of our first ever picks in this franchise mode, and he was a great player for us. Only spent 11 games in the AHL, made the jump. Wasn't really the best player out of the gate, but then he started picking it up once he got a chance to play on that top line, and he was really good the last number of years. Over a point per game most of the time, which is really good. And then his playoff numbers are also pretty solid. At least he managed to win, was it 3 Stanley Cups we won or 4 Stanley Cups? I don't even remember how much cups we've won in this franchise mode. But there you go, there's Connor Geeky. Sucks that he's retired, but it is what it is. It does save us some money cap space wise. Quinn Byfield also retires, another former player of ours. I don't think he won a Stanley Cup with us though. right? Did he win a Stanley Cup? Oh, no, maybe he did. I don't know if that's their cup-winning team or not. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. So I think he did win one Stanley Cup with us. So there's Byfield. Any other centers that are of note? Vladimir Bykov retires. Okay, 5 points in 9 games. He was a first-round pick of ours, but never became that type of player. 18th overall. Retires at 33. Had a really good AHL career. Got a chance to play in the NHL. Played pretty solid as a depth option, but never got to be a full-time NHLer. Don't know if he ever won a Calder Cup down there. Looks like he might have at some point. I don't know. Left wing wise, the best left winger is going to be Lafreniere. No surprise. Viktor Varlamov, another former pick of ours, a second rounder back in year number 1. He also retires after a season in the AHL. He actually had a pretty solid career after leaving us because we didn't have much of an opportunity to play him. And then he ends up going to play for some other teams and had up to 50 points or 75 points in an NHL season, which is pretty impressive. So, not too bad from Varlamov. Emil Schulz also retires after we knocked him out in the playoffs. Another former player of ours with a really solid career after leaving us. 320 points in 651 games. He was a part of some of good AHL teams with Shelley and whatnot, I think, at some point. But he was a second rounder in 2023. Anybody else on the left wing side? Nope. Right wing wise, Shelley did not retire. Shelley did not retire. So if Shelley's a free agent, the question is if he's cheap, do we bring him back? I don't know. I'm surprised that Shelley didn't retire because I thought he was going to. Wow. Okay. I will definitely take that though. Best defenseman to retire. Any former players of ours? Tony Goldman played a little bit with us, but not a huge impact player. Wow. Yeah, I'm really surprised Shelley didn't retire. Spencer Knight also retires. We won a Stanley Cup against him. And there you go. There's the retirement. So we only lost Geeky, which I mean is still a huge loss, but it was kind of expected. And yeah, we also lost Bykov. So there is the retirements for the season. And coach retirement wise, we did not lose a coach, I don't think. Anybody in the AHL? Nope. Good. And we'll continue simulating. Final few things. Let's take a look at the draft class, the progress reports, and the contract situation. I don't know where we are in terms of date for this episode being out, so I don't know if we're going to do one more season left of this or what. As if we're really close to NHL 23 dropping, then we might not have much time to do any more seasons. But we'll see. So I'll show you guys the draft class and stuff anyways, but we're not drafting till late in this draft now because we lost in the conference finals. So we're probably like 30th overall, 29th, which means we're probably not getting anything huge. Looks like some top 9s. Guaranteed top 4 offensive defenseman. I honestly might draft this guy since he's NHL ready as well. So that guy's probably going to be my pick. If I do have my first rounder, which I think I do. So there's that. Progress report wise, any good growth? Yoshimura is getting natural growth, or no, statistical and natural. Oh, that's good. Shishkinov dropped off to an 81. Oh, that's not good. And Kagarov's back down to an 86. And only a top 6. Michkov is dropping probably 2. Agostino is still lead first liner. That's good. A lot of drop off though. In the system wise, looks like we're getting a lot of good growth as well. From like Ference even, Devereaux. So we got a lot of good prospects that are on the uprise, which is nice because we definitely could use that. Clark got some growth as well. So there is that. Final thing, the contract situation. Who is up for renewal this offseason? Fairchild, Bilesma, so a couple big defensemen. What is Fairchild wanting? 7.5. And Bilesma wants 7. Wow. Lynch is an RFA still. Shishkinov is wanting less money this season, which is good, but he still wants like 6 million, looks like. And then everybody else is pretty much bottom 6 type of options. I probably will give Volchenko a good chunk of a contract though, because he has been good. He only dropped back down to a 78. And in goalie wise, Donovan is still an RFA for another year. He wants over 10 million bucks. I'll probably have to qualify him though. Korea, we could definitely get back in. If we want to get Galiev back as a third string, we could honestly do that. So there is that. And anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of our Arizona Coyotes franchise mode. So in next episode, we might do the entire offseason depending on where we are in terms of date for this episode going up. So yeah, let me know what you guys think we should do in terms of re-sign stage-wise, draft-wise, free agency-wise, if there is anything we should potentially target free agency-wise just in case, because I don't know if I'll do free agency next episode or not. But let me guessing down below. And I'll see you guys next time.